The precision filter found one vague word in one law. That is the tool at its smallest scale. This video runs the same question at a different scale. Not one word, an entire architecture, thousands of laws, accumulated without a ceiling, and without anyone assigned to measure the weight. Every rule in the code was written for a reason. A workplace safety standard exists because workers were injured. A disclosure requirement exists because investors were defrauded. Because there was no design to it, it accumulated. Every addition was a response to a real problem. That case deserves to be stated before the tools run. The Earned Income Tax Credit was designed for lower-income working families. According to IRS estimates, approximately 1 in 5 eligible filers does not claim it. Not because they do not qualify, because the compliance burden is high enough that a meaningful share of the people the credit was written to help walk away from it. That is not a failure of individual effort. That is a system producing a predictable outcome from a structural condition. When complexity functions as a structural barrier that concentrates access among the sophisticated and excludes the rest, the DSI calls that complexity capture. The credit is accessible to the people who can afford to navigate the code. It is not accessible to the people it was written for. 1 architecture, 2 outcomes. The Flow Architecture Audit runs before the ceiling applies. A system cannot be capped before it is measured. The audit maps the existing code. Every rule, every provision. It identifies system noise, rules that are redundant, obsolete, or overlapping. Rules that do not protect anyone. They accumulate because no one was assigned to remove them. The audit clears them. What remains is the actual functional complexity of the domain, the baseline. The complexity ceiling is a constitutional hard limit on total regulatory complexity. It applies to the cleaned baseline, not the bloated total. Before a new rule enters, 2 of equivalent complexity must leave. The 2 out 1 in rule, not deregulation, entropy management. The ceiling is constitutional. The trading mechanism is mandatory, not a preference, a constraint. The ceiling does not apply everywhere equally. In the highest stakes domains, constitutional rights, criminal law, maximum precision is non-negotiable. The architecture accounts for that. What it does not account for is the accumulated weight everywhere else. A limit applied to an unmeasured system is not a limit. It is a guess with a number attached. Every 10 years, both tools run in sequence. The governing body identifies the 20% of rules causing 80% of system noise, removes or rewrites them, publishes a public record, every deletion documented, every reason on record, then resets the ceiling. This is system defragmentation, not a political act, a scheduled maintenance cycle. Map the system, clear the noise, set the ceiling. I am the system architect. Next, the public exploit ledger. How every finding the precision filter and the complexity ceiling produce becomes permanent, public, and on the record, with no mechanism for removing it once it is there.